I forgot to. Hey, what's up, YouTube? Welcome to Play It Painted Live. Let's go do this thing. Sunday night, 9, almost 10 o'clock. We're going to build for a little bit. Hopefully not too long because I got to get up and go to work tomorrow. So we're going to get going here. I am actually going to share my stream. Oh, that's not sharing my stream. That doesn't sound right, does it? Like sharing your stream. I don't know. Is that, am I overthinking this? It's this one. Let's turn autofocus off and let's, I can't make anything out. Like too bright. It's too bright. Let's try something gray. Is that, yeah, that's good. Okay. We're gonna turn on some stuff, look at some comments. You know what we're talking about. Building and talking Batman. We're okay on the stream status page. We'll see how well it holds up. That's not a good sign. I mean, that took a long time to get that set up. Anyway, let's get rolling because we got a lot of stuff to try to do in an hour, 20-ish minutes. Okay, so anyways, I got in a huge Batman commission, and I got to try to figure out how to attack this, honestly. So I'm going to count. Is this guy? Yeah, this guy comes up. He's a huge dude, man. One, something bad just happened and knocked something off that was important. Well, we'll worry about that in a minute. It's like, at least part of it was this drill bit, which we need. Okay, 2, 3. Sorry, I know this is Blade Wolf. So 1, 2, 3. And what else can I paint for this dude? 4. I have 7 bases there, so I'm going to build 7 models. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to build Jared Leto Joker. Right? I think. I'm going to build one of my models, Jared Leto Joker. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can build 2 more. And he just so happens to have 2 more right here. Perfect. All right, let's rock and roll. I don't have to stamp anything. I'm pretty excited about that. That saves a lot of time. But these are night models, and I'm going to have to pin. And that makes me cry. Inside. They're all dudes. So it looks like I can actually get away with a standard pin size. Arrow might give me a run for my money. Let me text Nelson and see if this. I'm actually working on a bunch of stuff. I'll go through it in a minute. I'm gonna say if he wants. Yeah, that dude be hanging out. Let's see. Do you want arrow with or without hood? Let's see. Let's see what he says. Meanwhile, I'm going to build some other stuff while he's debating that. Oh, I need the battery for my bit driver. 1 second. There's just way too much stuff on my desk. That's why you keep hearing stuff like fall off, and I'm just like, right now I am a mess trying to get so many different projects done. And then I got hit with this somewhat large commission. However, I should say I'm not complaining in the slightest. It's awesome that we are getting a few more people into Batman, and so I'm really excited about that. All right. So let's find out what he said. As that might affect the order with. Okay. So he wants cool. Cool. Okay. All right. So we're going to build, let's build the ugly stuff first. So I'm going to build the clowns. Then I'll build the then I'll build Arrow, then I'll build Gatling Clown, and then I'll build Bat. Oh, they're all kind of rough builds. It's okay. We got this. No, I got Red Hood too. We got this. Don't be afraid. Here we go. Okay, and so I stamp these now because you gotta. I'm gonna, somebody better remind me to buy more 30 mil bases at Comic Quest next time. Okay. Let me ask him if he wants, let me ask him. I mean, I'm making a bunch of assumptions here. If he wants, I hate these bases personally, but if he wants them, I'll use them. Let's see what he says. Okay, so here we go. Okay. All right. Do you want me to use the bases they come with? Use the stamped white bases. Let's see what he says. Because that will also make a difference in how we build these. Somewhat important detail. So I got a mix of stuff. So you can see I got 3 clowns. This is stuff that Nelson bought. And sadly, it's not enough to make a particular crew. So I got 3 clowns. I got an Arkham Knight Batman, Arkham Knight Red Hood, Arrow TV show, and there was something else in here. That was it, really. And so those are like bits and pieces of 3 different crews, and they're not compatible. And so that's a little alarming, but it's what he wanted. I think he's buying some stuff from Mark, so that will help ease some of this strain here. But yeah, we're going to have to figure out how to do this. You can see these guys. I'll bring the camera in a little bit so you guys can see. You can see these guys are kind of a mess. This isn't the best sculpt. And you know, these are the older Knight kits, so the detail on them is a little fuzzier than the new stuff. The new stuff's absolutely beautiful. This is this could use some work, if I'm being totally honest with you guys. So I'm just gonna clip that off. And you can see the joints here are pretty bad. What did Nelson say? Heroes with white stamp bases and villains with its own base. Okay. Okay. So I can use So I can use the rebel bases. Black for villains. Or do I need to stamp fresh ones? Or do I need... I'm just going to say that that's... we'll just do it that way. Because I don't want to... And I'll just fill we'll just fill we'll build tonight and we'll fill them in. So I can glue the tabs in like this. Ugh. You know I hate doing that, right, you guys? You know I hate using the tab. But a lot faster is just ugly. It's a lot faster and it's a lot less pinning. But it's faster, and if that's what he wants, that's what he wants, right? So we do what the client wants. We're just gonna do this all live, like get this all squared live. I guess while I'm waiting to hear from that, if I had to, I can start putting Oliver together, right? Anyone still use the organized crime groups? I don't know. I want to, like, I'm kind of interested. Yeah. Okay. All right. So he's a go for that. So let's go ahead and pin. Do I need to pin? I do. I need to pin that right there. How do you pin it though? It's like an angle. That's an angle and that's an angle. It's a pretty tight angle too. Let's pin it reverse. Let's pin it that way. Like that. I'm going to do all my Batman on the herringbone bases because I just like the base. I like those bases way better than the night bases. All right, so I don't have to pin very deep there. That's going to correspond to this arm piece right here. Right? And then we're going to almost punctured my finger there. Have you guys ever seen me do that? Have I ever done that on the live feed? I don't know. I know I've done it dozens of times in real life, but I don't know if I've done it on camera. It'll be kind of cool if I do. And then you guys get to see the blood and guts, right? So people tune in, they want the violence. Okay. So I didn't know, are you playing, don't think so, yeah, okay. So are you playing Batman or were you playing Batman? Want to hear about with the game because I'm going to talk about mine thus far and kind of explain or try to explain the recent resurgence of the game here locally and what led up to that. And this is one weird paper clip. It's not straight. And my triangle clippers are very dull for some reason. I don't know what happened. It's like just barely chewing through these. Okay. And no, haven't played. I only own one model, which is Lobo. I've been interested, but never went for it. Yeah. Yeah, it's, you know, I was totally, you could say I was totally there as well for the longest time because we played the first edition of the rules and it just didn't make sense to us. It was translated from Spanish and it was just really wonky. It was difficult to follow we weren't really sure if we were playing the game right. And looking at it now, I know for a fact we haven't been. And, you know, and I think on this show, I talked about it feeling clunky and outdated. And, you know, I still kind of stand by that statement. It's still a clunky system. It still could use some modernizing, but at the same time, with this second edition out, I'm starting to see why it was, you know, at least starting to understand why it was the way it was. One, probably the game designers, much like the casters of this game, really modernized. But there's also this idea that with this type of rule set, the way it's structured and the way it's designed, it's much more thematic in play. And I think I mentioned that before, that this game really does kind of sacrifice the clean, you know, the crisp and clean mechanics of a game like, say, Guild Ball, in favor of a really, really thematic feel. That's what I would say about this game today, is like, yeah, it's my experience playing miniature games tells me that there's a lot more efficient games out there. There are a lot tighter, cleaner rule sets out there. There are games that are much better from a competitive standpoint, but those games sacrifice, you know, more narrative styles that a game like this affords. And that's kind of a big deal, right? So I'm going to let that dry. Here's a rough one. Any of these two-handed holds are just rough, man. So this guy's going to have to be kind of finessed in place like so. And the question is, which way? I think what I want to do is I want to file this flat and then drill through it. Right? But yeah, if you are, you know, if we ever get together for some gaming, if you ever make it up here to Orange County or anything like that to do some gaming, and we encounter each other, let me know if you want to try Batman. Be more than happy to try to teach you how to play the game as I understand it today, which in my opinion is a lot stronger than my understanding of the game in the past. Even rules that I thought were unnecessary and silly now kind of make sense to me. And what they were, it makes sense, like what they were going for and what purpose the rules serve. It's still a clunky experience. There's still a lot of moving parts to the game. If you are a fan of the Batman universe, am I allowed to say that, universe? If you're a fan of the Batman setting, then my inclination is that you will really enjoy the game. The other thing is that this game does, it's kind of unusual for me anyways, is I tend to hate building lists. I hate it with a passion, right? I really hate building lists. This game actually brings a little fun back into that, even though its list building system is quite clunky. It's quite a bit like 40K. It does, let's tilt this up a little bit, maybe not too much, so that you can kind of see the edge of my desk. Not doing this too well, am I? Here we go, kind of. So building a list for this game is kind of like 40K-ish in a sense. Like you got to fit all the points in, and there's odd point costs, and then you have all these upgrades, and there's optimum and suboptimum ways of building lists and all that stuff. And I generally hate that. I hate that about games that I played, because I felt that too much time is spent, too much time and too much brain power is spent tweaking a list. People consider it, pre-battle. Okay, well, it's pre-battle, right? So it is strategic, and I don't dispute that. It is strategic, but it's not. To my issue, the issue I have with it is that it's not really strategic. It's It's strategic. It's meta strategic, right? You don't. If you're playing 40K and I don't even know what the overpowered thing is these days, but you don't take the 6 Leman Russes because you think, oh, that's something that this particular world would do, or officer, or this particular, or makes sense in this particular thematic narrative. Like, you wouldn't do that. But you would take 6 Leman Russes because it's powerful. And so it's like, oh, well, I'm going to take 6 Leman Russes, and I can take, max battle cannons on them, and I can take, I can put 2 heavy bolters on the sponsons because it's going to allow me to do this. So that's what I hate about list building, and I hated it back when I played 40K. Because of that, and I just felt like it was a necessary evil. Like, I had to do that. Man, I am having the worst time trying to get glue out of this stupid thing. So I felt like I had to do that for 40K, and I feel like and I would hate to have that same experience with Batman. I'm gonna have to cut this. I'm gonna have to cut this and dig deeper down this. I hate that. Well, the glue is almost at the end of its life. I'm going to have to order new glue. I'm just wondering, like, where actually is the glue? But in this game, you put together these lists, and you can play it totally thematic. I mean, they love it when you do that. That's why you have Birds of Prey, and you have Teen Titans, and you have so they came out with the team rules because the fans were playing Birds of Prey, quote unquote, legal, right? So that's one of the things I love about this game is like, oh, I can take. My big thing was, I really got into Catman. I think Catman is hysterical, but I really got into Catman because you could field Secret Six. You could field Catman in Secret Six, and that was like a big deal for me. And so that was super fun. And you could field, and you could field Strix in Secret Six, and I love Court of Owls. One of my favorite. Oh, it is a 40. Well, good thing we're using these bases then, right? Because this dude goes on a 40. So it's cool that that we could do that. So I really did. So it when I got back into this game, I spent a lot of time building this because it was fun. Like, oh, okay, here's where else I can take Catman. Here's where else I can field Strix. And I built a bunch of lists that were just fun for me. It's very different building a list because it's fun and thematic for you than it is to have to crunch the list because you're trying to fit as many AP2 weapons in it. You know what I mean? You're trying to fit all the max elite choices that you can. That's a different thing. And I'm not saying you can't do that in Batman, because you can, and I'm sure people who are more competitively minded than I are going to approach the game that way. I just don't think it's much of a payoff, right? If you're playing a miniature game with the intent of, okay, I'm going to play a high octane game, and we're going to play for big wins and super strong lists and all that kind of stuff. If you really want to do that, then honestly, there are like 20 different better games for that than Batman. It just isn't worth your while. Okay, which way does this go on? Like that? Doesn't seem like it makes much of a difference. However, Looks like that is the way it goes. Okay. So we're going to drill big pieces on this dude. So there's that aspect. And then there's also, you know, just the thematics around the scheme markers. When I first played the game, I was like, there are like 5 or 6 different kinds of objectives. They don't just have objectives, stand at this objective and claim it and get a bunch of points. And that was a complaint of mine. I was like, you know, can we just move this along? I don't really need to know if it's a loot objective, or I can pull a Titan dose off of it, or I can pull a Venom dose off of it. I just want to park by this objective and score my victory points and continue living my life. But that's not how the game is supposed to be played. I guess it's not what you're doing it wrong. In other words, I think, if that's a complaint, and I will tell you right now, I was clearly doing it wrong. Let's see. If I guess in Batman, I will find a team that will take Lobo. Oh yeah, that's easy to do. You can probably find a team that will take Lobo. Just think of what crew you'd like to run him in, and put it in HeroBuilder.net. You want to go to HeroBuilder.net, and then have them tell you whether or not you can take Lobo in that team. I'm just going to chop through this paperclip. Oh, yep, that was a huge difference now. So now I can do this, stick that pin in there, and let that dry. And then I've got this deal here. Another two-handed hold. It drives me crazy. Where does this go? This looks like... it looks like it goes off there. Let me look at where's the belt go? Oh, the belt kind of coils around. Looks like I had it inserted the right place. Okay, gotcha. Okay. So the belt would go there. And then you just kind of wrap it around. This drill bit's a little dull. Might be time to replace my pinning kit. All right, how big is a crew or crime family? You probably know it depends. Depends on how you build the crew, but in general, your crews are going to run between, say, 4 and 10 or 12 models. So if you went henchman heavy, which are basic, your basic minions in this game, you're probably going to be in the 9 to 12 area. If you run super elite, so all heroes, sidekicks, and free agents, then you're going to be somewhere in the we'll call it 3 to 6 area. There's a bunch of standalone crews that I really like because there's not much thinking involved in putting them together. For example, Court of Owls is a very simple crew to build because the box set plus the Butcher is 299 points, and then you just buy the other box set for for one other Owl, and that will put you at 350. Similarly, Watchmen is a really cool set because all 5 Watchmen are 350 points, and some of them are exactly 50 or 100 points, so you can tailor down from 350. There's also no equipment funding or upgrades in Watchmen. It's basically you just take the 5 models and that's what you get. So Watchmen is a cool to teach people with because they're, all the rules are on the card. You're not worried about an upgrade or anything like that. And it's especially like people that may not be into Batman, they might have watched Watchmen. They might be into Watchmen. And so if they, if they are, it makes sense. Then, the way that the models behave in the game makes sense. Oh, let's see. That's going to go like that. That's going to go like that. This is the plate that's going to attach there. So I'm going to drill a tiny little hole here. So I'm pinning an ammo belt. Might be a little excessive, but I need to. Now here's one. Oh, wow. Did I pin? Did not pin in the middle of that. Not good. It'd be just a hair up. All right. Here we go. Okay. Whew. And then we're going to put a teeny tiny little pin. And I'm going to stick it on the ammo belt. Because the ammo belt's a little easier to manipulate. Whoa. But I think I will be changing the drill bit here. Because that's just, where'd the thing go? There it is. Because that's just not very efficient. Like the way I was drilling, that should have gone all the way through the belt. And it barely chopped the top. So that tells me that the bit itself is not cutting very well. You can't even get the pin to stand in there. That's bad. All right. And then for here, it looks like, I did not glue a pin in there. I guess I should switch the switch the bit and continue to pin. And since these are the 3 bad guys, really, I'll pin Joker, and I'll pin, and I'll start pinning good guys. Take a sip of my drink here. So this weekend was pretty cool. It sucks that I have to go back to work tomorrow, but it was a pretty good weekend. We'll get into this in a minute. Thursday, I taught one of the local guys, Matt, Batman, and he fell head over heels for it. Started buying a bunch of stuff. And then we played some board games. Mark and Kyle went and played some Guild Ball, and we hung out for a bit, and that was that night. Friday, I don't remember what I did. I don't remember. Oh, we went to SeaWorld Friday. That was awesome. Took the kids to SeaWorld, came home kind of late, went to bed, started putting stuff together, started painting. And then Saturday, I think we stayed home mostly Saturday, right? I don't know why, like, you would know, but I think that's what we did. I went to the shop for Saturday. I went to the shop for a little bit to meet up with another local guy. Wanted to learn how to play, so he bought a bunch of stuff at CQ. And then yesterday or tonight, we went to the Ren Fair, which was awesome. And then came back and then ran a demo for Nelson, and he bought this stuff, and now I'm painting it for him. So overall, weekend for Batman. What am I missing? The drill bit to that one should be good. It's a little thinner. That's okay. Hopefully it cuts a little better. And man, yeah, I painted a bunch of terrain this weekend. Painted some Suicide Squad members from the box set. So we got a lot going on. It's been really busy. Let's go ahead and drill here. This is already cutting a lot better. Nice. Okay. All right, let's do this. So now I can go all the way back to the first guy we started, the Master of Ceremonies. There's this pin here. Make an attempt to dry fit. Okay, let's drill a little more into the hole here. Okay. And much better. So now, probably just need to clip a hair off of this. Oh, didn't stay in. That's good. So my glue is not doing its job now. That's not good. Okay. And I'm going to put some glue here. Again, I super hate double-handed holds. You see how I did that? Oh. Guess Black Mask or Scarecrow. Hired Hands or Fear. You know, I don't know. Mark would know. He runs Scarecrow. Black Mask has always looked kind of cool to me. About them for a bit. Yeah, this glue is working great on my fingers, but absolutely terrible on the miniature. Absolutely abysmal. Should have a Zip Kicker here. I don't want to have to use Zip Kicker, but I feel like I don't have much of a choice this late at night. I mean, that's just not even. Let's see if that's going to take. Okay, looks like it did. I want the axe handle to be straight though, so I'm gonna have to just pop it out a little bit. Okay, and then I'll just pop him in here. Yeah, it's not the most straight thing ever, but oh, it's bad. Ooh, feel it. Oh man, there it goes. Woo! Burning up on my fingers. Yeah, I almost feel my flesh sizzling there. Gotta love putting together these night models. You guys have probably seen me put together a bunch of other models like Anima Tactics or Guild Ball models, and I just don't have this kind of difficulty that I have with night models because of, you know, crazy weird decisions that they make when they're casting miniature. Wow, that just really solidified on my finger there. Woo. Okay, yeah, always a good feeling there. I just feel like such a rookie when that happens. I don't know. What do you think? I mean, to me, that's like, man, I never do that anymore. That's like the old days of building models. And I'm realizing now that I'm not any more skilled at it because I did this back in the day. And, the whole glue on your hands feeling, I thought was a thing that went away when you leave the realm of being a noob miniature hobbyist, but apparently not. And I guess I didn't even drill the rest of this guy's. Hope that's good enough. We'll go a little bit deeper. And this is going to go like this, the bent pipe. Yeah, so I got to trim this pin down a little bit. I have that happen when you need that third arm. Yep. Okay. Whoa, that's part of the problem. Because my glue, I had to chop. Now it's like spitting out in big giant gobs, and it's getting everywhere. And super glue is thin, and even when you buy the somewhat thick stuff like what I'm using, it still manages to run, even though you can't really see it running, still manages to run up in those places. All right. This guy's kind of doing an over the shoulder type. Hey, I'm going to swing with my metal pipe. So there's that, and let's put him on this. Oh man, yeah, you see that? It's just coming out like, woo. Okay. All right, so I hope that holds. I'm actually using the slot of bases. It's crazy. Crazy. Okay, and time to put this dude together. Let's see if I recall correctly. This is the top and this is the bottom. Looks like I didn't drill very far. But yeah, we're having fun, man. This is a fun game. We played, so today we played Secret Six versus Watchmen, which are like two of my favorite crews, and rightfully so because they were both my crews. And we put him down on the board, and I proceeded to teach Nelson the absolute wrong way to play the game, which is pile up in the middle and start punching each other. And that's doubly wrong because those two crews are chock full of guys with like defense 5 and basically unarmed combat. So just doing, you know, single star or maybe single star, single blood in combat. So, so needless to say, we had a bunch of guys meet in the middle of the board and just start swinging at each other, and no one could put anyone down. It wasn't until towards the very end of the game when Strix put down Silk Spectre with a katana strike. That was kind of cool. Okay, so now I gotta do this. Go like that, right? And that almost fits perfect. Almost fits perfect. Take a little off the top here. But yeah, it was super fun. You had that going on in the middle of the board. Then you had on the side, like right off to the side, you had Deadshot and Comedian in a shootout. And Deadshot was clearly getting the better of that exchange, which was cool. And that would make sense. Deadshot is like way more professional shooter than Comedian was. Meanwhile, but Comedian is able to take hits like that because he's just a psycho. So even though he's getting beat up and kind of badly, he's able to hang in there. So you had that going on. Rorschach and Night Owl, Dan, managed to do some objective work before they jumped into the fray. And so yeah, it was super fun. So we didn't really get much done. I think I scored a victory point off of a riddle just to show Nelson like what interacting with an objective does. And that, man. Ooh. And then we're gonna just okay. So I'm gonna help that skin. Hey, what's up, Lord Draconum? Welcome to the feed. All right. And we're gonna glue, man. You guys have only seen me glue Slotta bases in twice, and both times it's been night models. Okay, so we'll glue him there. I'm gonna give those a minute to dry. I'm gonna build Jared Leto. I notice Riddler crews are more objective heavy. Yeah, they seem to be, huh? Actually, you know, now that we know what we're supposed to do, I should pin Green Arrow. Looks like he has a million tiny little pieces to him. You can work on that while these guys are drying. You know what we should do? Let's go ahead with the white, with the pumice, and fill in that Slotta base stuff for these clowns. Let's just get some pumice on here. Right. I'm just gonna quickly fill that in. All right. I'm gonna come through the bottom for this other part because I don't have a good way of getting to it. Right, okay. All right. So you see how sloppy I'm. Just put that. I have that model base coated, haven't painted them yet. Oh, Riddler? Oh, I love Riddler. I will get myself a Riddler crew at some point. And I want it to be, I want to have a good mix of bots and the regular thugs. Oh, I don't know. I'm debating Riddler or Penguin. Because I love both of those crews. Penguin just seems like it would be super fun. Riddler just has an aesthetic and a play style that I really like. So we'll see. Okay, so this little pumice there. I'm going to give that a minute to dry. And we'll continue pinning. There's 3 penguins out now. Sweet. Yeah, so you can see, here's what I did. Real simple. I mean, this isn't how I do my stuff. You guys know how I do my stuff. Like I do this. But, you know, the client wanted rubble, so we're going to do rubble. All right, let's go ahead and go with Arrow. Look at the paint job on this guy. He's just going to be easy. Green. Nobody in town plays Penguin. That sucks. Oh, you meant the Gatling Harley guy. Cool. All right. So let's see what we got here. One of the newer sculpts. So I like that they're the newer sculpts actually have reasonable fittings. I think we'll see. All right. So you got a bow hand, a head, and a quiver. So not too bad. And there's a little bit of flash right there. Let's get that. I hope that's flash. I always get second guess myself when I do stuff like that. And he wants the hooded version. The hooded head. I'm going to add this to my little bits box, this little head there. That's part of the fee, dude. Part of the fee of getting your stuff commission painted. So I will keep the extra stuff. I can find something to do with that. Oh, so check it out. The other news I had to report is that my wife had me open up one of my Father's Day gifts. I know it's like a week early, but my son, my 3-year-old, was really excited for it, and he wanted to do it. And we're potty training, so I told him, hey, if you use the potty, we could open one of my Father's Day gifts. Kind of a weird thing, but he just likes opening gifts. Like when it was my birthday, I let him open all my gifts because he's really excited to do stuff like that. I didn't get a single miniature for my birthday. So thanks, guys. Come on. Just kidding. No, nobody on the miniature side got me minis, you guys. Really? Talking to I'm not actually talking to anybody who watches the feed. I'm talking to the local guys that know me. They didn't get me anything miniature wise. Actually, I don't care. I'm old enough. I don't care. But yeah. Open gifts, and he wanted to open one of my Father's Day gifts, and my wife got really excited too. She's like, I want you to open one of your Father's Day gifts. So he used the potty a little bit, not as much as I would have wanted. I wanted him to, oh, please tell me I didn't break the tip. Okay. So I wanted him to use the potty a little bit more, but he did it enough, and he did get really excited. So we opened the gift tonight, and it was cool. It was my wife picked out a mini fridge, which was cool for my little man cave down here. So that's awesome. So now I have a mini fridge down here, and she wants me to use it. So so I put a bunch of my drinks in it, and it's cooling. They're all cooling down right now. So during live feeds, I don't have to go upstairs if I want to drink or anything like that. I have it all down here, which is awesome. So I was pretty stoked about that. It was pretty cool. So overall, and like I said, taught some people Batman and scored a little commission work. I won an eBay auction on accident. That was pretty funny. Earlier this evening, I was on eBay, and somebody was selling a Joker Harley crew, like Joker and like 3 clowns and the Harley one-off, the AC Harley, not the classic Harley. And 4 minutes left in the auction, and I just threw threw a bid at it. I'm like, here, I'm gonna bid, this, which was less than retail. I think it was $40. I bid like $40, and I won it on $36. So I was pretty stoked about that. I was like, wow, I didn't think that would actually work, because I wouldn't be willing to pay more than $40. Like if I have to pay anything close to retail, the models are built and they're on custom bases. So, and I think Joker was base coated. So I can, as long as it's not too thick, I should be able to fix that. No problem. So my plan was to take the Joker and paint the clowns and then sell those. And then I would keep the other Harley so that I have a second option Harley Quinn. So that was like an accidental thing that was awesome. Where's the brass? I don't want to. Where's the brass pin? I'm going to use the brass pin because the paperclip is really cutting funny. So I'm going to use this on the quiver here. Yeah, winning auctions is fun. I don't know. I fully expected not to win that auction, but that price and, knowing I could easily turn that around and I was actually just kind of bidding for Harley anyway. Cool. And then I can just sell the rest of it as a painted crew or painted starter, really, on custom basing. Uh-oh, I feel like I'm losing power on my drill here. I think this might be it, man. I may not have enough juice left to do Jared Leto here. Let's see. And I still have to pin the head in. Jared Leto is only 2 pins. That's another thing I really like about the Suicide Squad starter is, yeah, there's katana in there that makes you rethink your life yourself trying to assemble that. But once you get past that, everything else is really easy. Love all the villains. Yeah, I guess it's hard to decide what character to get. There's the villains, the Batman villains really make that universe. And I love the villains. I also really like the other anti-heroes. Like I've made it no secret that I love Catman. Like I love the character Catman. I love all the different forms of Catman. I thought he is just the most ridiculous character, but also awesome at the same time. You know what I mean? Like depending on what version of the fluff you read, he's either framing Catwoman, or the earlier version of him is he's just a direct ripoff of Batman. You know, with the Catarangs and the Catmobile, and then the story goes on, and he's fallen in love with Batwoman, and he tries to seduce Batwoman, and she ultimately rejects him and betrays him. And and then he becomes this like fat loser guy, and they see him running around with the misfits, like half-bit villain guys, these second-rate villain guys. Then he goes to Africa, gets all of his stuff back together, like basically gets his groove back, super funny. And then he's like leading Secret Six, and then he's like getting Cheshire pregnant. It's like it's just too funny, this character. Like they turned him around. He was like almost like practical joke character. I love Catman. He's just, oh man, he's my favorite. So anyway, let's let us put together Jared Leto Joker while we can, while there's a little bit of juice left in that drill bit. Let's do it. I want them to make the Creeper. Yeah, Catman is my favorite though. Love Catman. And the fact that he can lead Secret Six, and then you can basically like squeeze him into almost any other crew you want. Like I threw him into a League of Shadows crew, run by either Shiva or Nissa or Talia. Original place I had him when I bought him, it was like I'm gonna run all these like female ninjas and Catman. That was my that was like my original plan when I got Catman. And then I got to repaint him, though. My paint job on him is really disappointing because I rushed it. But then, you know, I did some reading on Secret Six and some other stuff, and I'm like, man, that's really what I want to do with Catman. Is I want him to lead Secret Six for me, so I can run him in Secret Six with Strix and Harley Quinn, and I could run him with Mad Hatter. I could run him with Deadshot. There's too many cool things I can do with Catman. So that's why I love Catman. Okay. So the main reason why I'm doing Jared Leto Joker now and not later, because he was originally slated to be done much later, is because Nelson wants to be able to play something on Tuesday. So if I have the Clowns and Jared Leto Joker done, and I have a Harley done, then he has enough to field a 300 rep crew for Joker and Harley. And I know his main deal is he loves Joker and Harley, so this should work out quite well for Nelson. Man, I am out of juice. Ugh. Wow, look at that. Yeah, we are dead. All right, let's do the last one through this foot. Oh man, that's it. I'm gonna have to go to the pin vise. You see how that's just dying. Brrr. It's still cutting. It's just super slow. Actually, it might have even been enough. Let's pop that loose. Oh wait, I already have a pin, a bit in the pin vise. I'll put this one away. I want them to make the creeper. You know they're going to. I mean, with these guys, they reach, man. I love it. I love it. And can they make a better game? Yeah, I would say so. They could make a less complicated game. Can they make better casting? Yeah, but I just love. You can tell that these guys love what they love making this game. They love making the Batman universe come to life. Like the care that goes into designing these things is incredible. All right, let's make a bunch of pins. So Oliver is 1, 2, 3, 4 pins. Ooh. He's 4 pins, and Joker is 2 pins. 1, 2. So it looks like I'm not going to be able to get to Arkham Knight, Red Hood, or okay. Oh man, I want his head to rest there. I'm going to do the longer pin through the foot. Woo, woo. Hi all, I just wanted them to. A white canary should be interesting and speedy. Lobo is nice, I used him in BMG and DCU. Hi, I just wanted them to finish the animated stuff. Yeah, I have 3 of the animated minis. I do need to pick up the animated Harley, mainly so I can have a 40-point Harley. Pinning the feet on the animated minis does, again, make you question your decisions in life. Okay. I just can't believe the cake of glue that I am covered in currently. It's very embarrassing, but it's okay. I just feel like such a rookie, you know? Like, I shouldn't have these fingers. Like, this is like new modelers. Yeah, those feet are so thin. I know, on the anime, and I managed to pin them. Black Canary, I think, was the worst one, but Black Canary, Catwoman, and Batgirl. I have all the animated versions of them. So, side note, I can run a kind of a model-heavy Birds of Prey list, which is again another kind of side plot for me to be able to do. Oh, come on. Gotta get the paper off. Hate that so much when that happens. The glue gets on the model, and then you get a little paper on the back. All right, so let's put the head in. The cat's crying. He's gonna have to deal. Oh my gosh, yeah, there it goes again with the paper. And I dropped it on the floor. Telling you. I just feel like such a rookie. Okay, and then we'll put the quiver in. Ooh. I think that's too big. I'm gonna have to clip it. Ooh, still too big. Ugh. How come that's not sticking properly? There we go. And then finally, stick that. Yeah, all my hands are just covered All my fingers are just covered in glue right now. It's like, what happened to me? I used to be good at this, right? Right? I mean, I wasn't. Okay, maybe I wasn't good, but I used to be able to put together a half dozen models in an evening and not have to worry about whether or not I could use a fingerprint scanner the following day. I clearly can't now. Where does this dude go? Okay, so the bows just kind of parallel off to the side like this. Okay, let's do that. And what time is it? It's 11. Okay, so we'll have enough time to give them a prime and then be done. All right. Finally, actually, let's do Jared Leto Joker. Is this? No, it's not. It's perfect. That was a good fit. It's a good fit right there. Although these movie miniatures are difficult to paint because of all the tattoos and the freehand and all the little details. They're a little tougher for me. I cannot use that base. It's a jacked up base. I'm going to have to use it for something else. All right. And let's put green arrow down here. It's not modeling unless you glue your fingers together at least once. I'm telling you, I had such high standards for myself when I'm not working with night models. It's usually, even infinity models, I don't do this kind of, like, it's been years since I've had this phenomena where it's like every finger I have is covered in glue. Kind of looking at a weird angle, whatever. Maybe Bane? Yeah, because you could put Bane on Secret 6, but I think you can only do the Arkham Origins Bane. Okay, I'll put him there. And then finally, Mr. Jared Leto. He's going to go like so. And then we're going to prime these dudes up. Okay, there we go. My cats are still crying upstairs. They're just going to have to deal. They're just going to have to deal. Okay, let those dry for a second. I'm going to eat a cookie with my super glued up hands, because that's wise, right? Okay. Bane and Lobo. I used the hood of Green Arrow for Arsenal. Oh man, that's awesome. Okay, here we go. All right, here we go. Clean. Where's he? Where's that other airbrush? Get rid of that. I picked up a new black airbrush paint. Do that. Start putting them on these. All right. This guy's gonna be interesting to deal with. I'll put him on this. I need more of these. I'll show you what's sad. I keep having to kick Cyclops and Wolverine off their base because every time I start to paint them again, a commissioner or something comes along and I'm like, well, that's more important. Okay. And there should be another one up here somewhere. I'll just use a cork. So we'll take Carla off. I need to paint Carla at some point. We'll put Jared Leto Joker on there. You can see it, like I stamped last night. I'm much prouder of. Like I did a way better job actually getting them to look correct. Let's see. I don't know, why do they have the Gotham Sirens team? Oh. They might not have a license for them. What do you guys think about running Bane in Secret Six with Catman? You think that's a good team or no? Because I am considering, like, I want to have, actually, honestly, I'd probably consider Mad Hatter before Bane because I like the Mad Hatter model a lot, and I also love the Wonderland crew. All right. So let's put some gloves on. I'm going to need to go. Oh, I put gloves on my shopping list. I'm almost out of gloves. So we're going to start with black primer, and I picked up a new black primer. We're going to rock this. Or is it, but it's just Harley, Catwoman, and Poison Ivy. Then you can put in inmates. Huh. Ooh. Off tonight. Hear that? Kind of a weird knock. And I'm going to totally ignore that and paint. Because I'm fearless. All right. So I'm sorry there's not going to be much on camera tonight. But hey, it's not different than most nights on this show, right? All right. So my friend Damien, he wants to run the Sirens list. And he's been running it. Tough list to run. Just no Harley. Okay. And there we go. Harley, which is also a pretty cool model. Okay, and then last but not least, oh, she has affinity to poison ivy. Cool. You guys got it all. You guys got it figured out, man. I just want to field cool stuff together. Like, that's the whole reason why I built that League of Shadows crew with the Al Ghul's and Shiva with Catman in it, just so I could field models that I really like. So next up, we're going to move over to the gray. This cleaned up. I've been playing the game for over 3 years. Wow. Yeah, I think you were the one that really kind of pushed me over the edge initially when I started playing, was it a year and a half ago or whatever? And now, and then I left for a long time. Well, you know that. Like, I've been gone. I haven't been interested in the game for a while. And then I did that Ozzy video because I wanted to paint Ozymandias. And that kind of drew me back in because I was like, oh, that was fun, you know, and that was a one-piece knight model, and it's not so bad now that I have done it. So we're gonna some green here. Yep. Well, you play what you like. No problem, Blade. Newer sculpts are better. Well, I really like the teams. I mean, I like the standard game with all the henchmen too, but I really like the teams. Birds of Prey is, I think, it's because it's a nice compromise where, you are playing a crew, but it feels like a team because the individual talons are just so good. You know what I mean? And you can buy them equipment because they're henchmen. Birds of Prey is a really nice compromise. Speaking of which, since I got paid for stuff, I think it's time to place another order. So I'm going to order. So I'm going to order the animated Birds of Prey. I mean, Court of Owls. Everything I was just talking about was Court of Owls, by the way. They're a nice compromise because they seem like a team, but they're actually just a straight up kind of a self-contained crew. And you can buy, and they're henchmen, so you can buy them equipment. So you get that experience, but you also have the convenience of kind of a self-contained crew with talons that seem kind of like characters, right? Because you got Strix, you got what's his name, Cobb. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, and I saw that. I saw the female, the lady of the court, and I just like lost it. I'm so excited, man. Court of Owls is when I quit Batman, and I was like, okay, I'm selling all my Batman. What did I keep? I kept my Court of Owls because I love Court of Owls. So super stoked about that. So I'm going to order, in preparation, I got to order the animated Court of Owls so I can start running them at 350 because all I have to do is I can run the original box set plus Butcher plus the father. I forget the name there. So that's cool. Yeah, I'm super stoked, man. New Court of Owls. So I'm gonna play a mix of stuff. I really like. I would say LexCorp is awesome too because you can run that with the comic Talia, who is my favorite sculpt in the entire range. Just amazing. But yeah, Court of Owls, Secret Six, Watchmen, weird Shiva crew. I don't know. I mean, if there is a crew I sell, it probably would be that Shiva crew, and I'd sell them and buy something else. But I don't know anybody that would want to run that Shiva crew. It's very waifu, Maybe Jose would want to run it, but Jose doesn't buy anything off me. He just borrows it. He knows he doesn't have to buy it off me. So everybody here, with the exception of Green Arrow, I need to try to finish tomorrow night to make the Tuesday game for Nelson. Okay. Luther's coming out next month. He can take organized crime figures. Oh, man. You guys are killing me. You guys are killing me. I want all this stuff. Yeah, would love to run Black Mask and Riddler, but probably it's going to be a while, I think. I don't know. I might go nuts. I might just buy myself a crew and paint it and sell it. Paint it, play it, and sell it, kind of like what I do with Guild Ball. Like if I bought a, I bought through most of the teams and then played them a couple of games and then sold them and then kept what I liked. Yeah, you got to pick up the Talia that can work for Luthor because it's such a damn good sculpt. I mean, I want to use it for other stuff. It's like, it's that good of a sculpt. Okay, so basically that's it, man. That's all I can do tonight. I'm just going to let these dry. And then I'm just going to go at it hard tomorrow and try to get all the clowns done. Try to get Jared Leto Joker done. So Nelson has something to play. And then there we go. Man, I should have tried to build something else. Do I have time to... oh, that's right. My drill bit is busted. So, or it's the battery's dead. So that's literally all I can do tonight. She would work with some conversions to be Mystique. Oh, cool. Yeah, that's true. Little conversion. Just such a great mini. I don't know, man. What else should I like? I'm thinking if I order that animated Court of Owls from Miniature Market, then to make it worth my while, I got to order $100 worth of stuff. So if I do that, I'll order the campaign book. They don't sell mats on Miniature Market, do they? I'd love to have a new gaming mat. Actually, that's probably more of a priority than getting the other Court of Owls stuff. Oh, I don't know. We'll see. Okay, well, I think that's going to be it, guys, because I don't have... I can't... these guys have got to dry tonight, and I can't assemble anything else. So I think I'm just going to call it. Get some rest and then try to go at it pretty hard tomorrow. Okay? So I appreciate you guys tuning in. Want to thank everybody for watching. Yeah, I don't know. It's because we kind of did a short one tonight. I might kick it on tomorrow night when we're doing some painting. Okay? So everybody have a good night. I want to thank you guys for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one. Good night, guys.